Okay, so story time. So if I were to suggest to you a Spirit Master deck, this is exactly what I would suggest, because it is the best Spirit Master deck. It's the one that most people are running. It's the standard one. There are people running the variant of like Necromancer Frost, as opposed to a standard like Spirit Master, Night Statue, Scrapper, Witch, and Trapper with Amari. And I've been running this for a little while now, and it isn't great. And that's to say that it's not great because I don't have a maxed out Mari. I have a 15 Mari, which sounds good, but the difference is the Toxic Slime ability at 20 would give me plus 10% armor destruction. Losing that amount of armor destruction is huge. The amount of armor destruction that I'm losing using a 12 to a 15 is, what is this, plus 15%? That is an additional plus 15%. And then with the Witch, I'm getting much less armor, or what's it called? I'm getting much less use out of the Gift of the Raven ability. And so having a level 12 as opposed to a level 15. This is technically the best deck for Spirit Master, and that is something that I would suggest to you. But here's the thing. The thing about this game, and this entire like video stems from a lot of different things. One of them being the fact that I just did a new tier list. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out. 25.0 tier list, where I state that most decks look the same. And this also stems from the idea that a lot of people have been obviously commenting whenever I do a tier list, comparing two different cards. Like, is this card better or is this card better? Is this card better at this level or is this card better at this level? And while I have an actual answer, part of this game is experimentation. So even though I could tell you, you know, you have Spirit Master, you have Night Statue, you have Scrapper, you have Witch, you have Trapper, run that deck, put Amari in it, go out and, you know, defeat some people, win some games, right? Because it is technically the best deck, but it is the best deck at max level, because less than max level, you are losing so much. If you don't have the Mari max, if you don't have the Witch max, if you don't have the Night Statue max, if you don't have the Scrapper max, if you don't have the Trapper max, right? And so technically, even though this is the best deck, because pros are using it to, you know, great success, for you, it might be different. And that's why I always encourage experimentation. I was running this for a while. I did 12 billion here. I then switched. Oh no. I did it again. This was a 9 billion damage game. This was a solid 17 billion damage game, but this is basically where I was capping out. This was like me getting like really good tiles, really great placement early on. Everything was going right, and it just still didn't work. The witches are very clunky. Not having a Harlequin to get multiple witches, I was finding myself getting to, like, you know, triple bosses, and I would have like 9 witch merges, which is obviously suboptimal because you can get up to 30 witch merges. So not only is it clunky because you need the Spirit Masters and the Night Statues in specific places, and you need the Trappers to be not on those specific places, and you need the witches to be next to a Spirit Master that is next to a Night Statue. It is a very complicated deck to run. And I'm not even getting the full benefit of having a level 15 Witch and a level 15 Trapper. At which point, I decided to switch to Gadget. I figured that if I switched to Gadget and took out the Witch and just put in a Chemist, that makes the deck less clunky. The Gadget allows me to utilize multiple tiles. So if I get having the growth tiles, the growth tile is a different aspect of this game that becomes clunky. If you have really bad growth tile placement, it's possible that you can run a game where you only have, like you're only utilizing 2 growth tiles on, with Spirit Masters on them, because, and then at that point you're only your Night Statue is next to one of them and next to another one of them, and then that becomes clunky. And then, like if you add in a witch there, then you're just like, you're not utilizing all of your tiles to the fullest. So I thought that maybe if I put Gadget in, I could utilize more tiles, because then at the very least, Spirit Masters could land, gold gadget tiles could land. I could put Spirit Masters on gold gadget tiles, and that would make my tile situation better. And it did. Also taking out the witch, because I don't have a max witch, and just using a singular chemist that I can upgrade for the whole game once I get a chemist on a good tile that I don't care about. That became much easier as well. So even though witch is better, chemist for this deck and for the purposes of me having a less than optimal witch, chemist actually works easier. So you're getting the armor destruction from the chemist, you're getting the armor destruction from the trapper, you're getting the armor destruction from the Night Statue, and even though you lose the armor destruction from the Mari, you gain the attack speed and crit chance from the gadget. The reason why Spirit Master is so good is specifically because of Stone Power. With Stone Power, when you activate your Spirit Master at any level, for the duration of the activation until it drops to the next level, you have a 5% chance to throw a boulder dealing 200% attack damage. This is the reason for why Spirit Master does so much burst damage. When you combine this with Storm Power and you get 50% attack speed against bosses, and you're combining this with the Night Statue, and then you combine this with gadget tiles, you are throwing all of your Spirit Masters are attacking so fast that you have the ability to get so many stones thrown at every single second. I figured that this would work, and this was originally going to be my video. I was going to show like a gadget match, and then I was gonna say, like, this is so great. This is like an off meta deck. It's so cool, right? Until I played against a lot of monks. I played against a monk deck here with Jay. I played against a monk deck here with Jay. And then I thought to myself, what if because it was making me mad that we nerfed Jay and it's still this good. I did an 18 billion damage game against a J deck with a monk, and a monk deck that's doing blessing. You're only really utilizing one singular tile, and I thought to myself when I switched from Mari to Gadget, in the idea that I could utilize more tiles, I thought to myself, what if I switched to J and had the ability to use J tiles as automatic 40% boosts? This is further proving that Gadget is fucking terrible and J is still the best. I have a level 19 Gadget. I'm very proud of my Gadget, but the thing about J is that even when you get a Gadget tile, your attack speed goes from 24% to double that, which is 48%. And so technically, if you had a Gadget tile, it would give you a bigger bonus than a J tile. A J tile gives you 40%. You're getting an auto 40%. So a Gadget tile is, while it's technically better, with a J tile, you have the ability to know beforehand where your tiles are, then proceed accordingly. So you know where your growth tiles are, you know where your J tiles are at the start of the match, you can make a plan and then execute it. With a Gadget tile, it's random. Getting a gold tile, it's significantly worse with no tiles. You should be utilizing less Spirit Masters anyway. You're not trying to build a full board of Spirit Masters. You should just be using the tiles that you are given. Use your growth tiles, use your J tiles, and that's it. I decided to switch to J, and I did 47 billion damage. I will spoil this now. The Bard deck loses to a Bedlam, and because I had the ability to slow more, that's literally the only reason, that's how I won. But this video isn't about how I won. You could have easily have skipped to the end of the video for that. This is the evolution of this very off-brand Spirit Master deck, utilizing the reason for why Spirit Master is amazing. It is amazing for the stone power, and it's probably better with a witch, or it's better with a banshee, or it's better maybe with a frost, because then you can affect your opponent a little bit more. But I really like this. I really like the idea of this. Utilizing a knight statue, utilizing a J tile, utilizing the wind speed, utilizing the stone power, just maximum speed to a Spirit Master, with the simplicity of just having to run a chemist and a singular chemist, and maybe like 2 or 3 trappers. I was for the longest time trying to run 1 trapper. It's not good enough. You need to run at least 2 trappers, if not maybe 3. And because you don't have the clunkiness of having to have a lot of witches on the field as well, you have the ability to have open spaces so that you can run multiple things. Keeping your board full as well also helps technically against grandmasters, against warlocks, against assassins, and having a full field of trappers, like just level 1 trappers that you can easily just eat for every single boss round, does help against bosses as well. We do get a lot of lucky bosses. I see a lot of like games where people are going to like hundreds of billions of damage and they're not hitting bedlams, and that's pretty much why. They're able to take the hit of a virus or a tribunal or a warlock that hits a dumb unit, and if that was a bedlam, a lot of those matches would have ended much sooner, because you're allowing the bosses to activate their ability, and if you get completely flipped, you're not going to recover from that. So we do get very lucky not having a lot of bedlams, but I was very proud of this game. I obviously didn't think I was gonna win. He's running a level 15 Zeus, Zeus glasses, like all the things. Max Bard, Max Enchant Sword, Max Witch, I presume a Max Trapper. I don't remember what the crit percentage was, but yeah, like, this is a very off-brand Spirit Master deck, and I feel like this is why, even though I could give you advice sometimes, like, a lot of people obviously ask me, what's better, this or this? What's better, this or this? And I've been getting a lot of these. My immediate response is to want to tell you what's better, what I think is better, because there is technically an answer. Like, as I said before, if you ask me what's the best Spirit Master deck, I would say Witch, Trapper, and Mari. But here I am doing 30 billion damage more than when I was running that. And even though that is the better deck, it's not better at my card levels. I'd rather run a Max Chemist, a Max J, like, I'm still running the Trapper, but a Max Spirit. This becomes a Max Spirit Master, Max Knight Statue, Max Scrapper, Max Chemist, Max J, and the only thing that's holding me back is a Trapper. Like, it's just, sometimes this game, it allows for so much experimentation. If something is not working, try something else. Like, understand why it's not working. Try something else, and if that works, even though I could look at it and compare it to, high-end decks and say, that's not a good deck, maybe for you, right now, at your stage of the game, with your card levels, it is the better deck. I did not see myself ever doing 50 billion damage in any kind of consistent way. I could see it now. And that's really what was holding me back from wanting to push PvP. I felt that I was like capping out at like 20 billion damage because I was. I never really got lucky getting higher than that with a Witch and a Trapper. No matter what what I tried to do. Another thing that you'll note in this video is that I actually actively focus on doing double Knight statue stacks with that level 3 in the center, as opposed to the growth tile stacks. I'm actually only rocking, I want to say, technically 2 growth tile or 2 growth tiles. Is it 2? Yeah, I'm technically rocking 2 growth tiles. I have the 4 in the upper left corner, and then the 4 on the bottom of the level 5 Knight statue. The one to the right of it, because it's not attached to anything, it's getting the regular bonus, but it's not gaining anything else. And so technically, I'm only really rocking like 2 growth tiles with Spirit Masters, and so I feel like it's better to focus on Knight statue stacks, because there are 4 Spirit Masters on Knight statues. It is better to focus on Knight statue stacks than it is to focus on growth tile stacks. Something else that I've learned, that's obviously depending on how many Spirit Masters are on growth, or you can put on growth tiles that are also on Knight statues. That's going to go down to placement, but I do find that it is more important normally to upgrade your Knight statue stacks as opposed to your growth tile stacks. I tried running this with Sharpened Spear, and I just didn't like it. Even though it made the setup process easier, losing the amount of like very simple stacks that you could get on while using Covenant of Veteran, using the double Knight statue, the double stack strategy, I think it is just better. The stacks that you're getting for Sharpened Spear and the stacks that you're getting for Covenant of Veteran are the exact same thing. You're not getting more because of Covenant of Veteran. You're not getting less because it's much easier to do with. I'm sorry. You're not getting more with Sharpened Spear because it's harder, and you're not getting less with Covenant of Veteran because it's easier. They are both the same bonuses. And so if you have, to get to 25 stacks with Sharpened Spear is insanity. Because that would mean that you summoned in 25 Knight statues once you had it set up. You can infinitely build so much quicker using Covenant of Veteran, and because the stacks are the exact same amount, I would just use Covenant of Veteran. It's just easier, and it's just better specifically for this deck. I wouldn't use it obviously for Blade Dancer, but specifically for Spirit Master, it's just much better. Eventually, I did start to realize that whenever I used my J, I would also get a drum. And so there's actually a point where I have a Scrapper in the center to get double Knight statue stacks, and I just summon in a drum, level it up, and then level it down. And that becomes like a really cool strategy, like just a different thing. But yeah, this was crazy. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. I'm pretty sure this is where both of us die, because we're definitely losing the wave, and then there's definitely a Bedlam, so we're probably not going to be able to take down the first couple of bosses, and then the Bedlam is just going to hit us. So I'm just going to grab that screenshot. But yeah, as you've seen in the past couple of boss encounters, if that second or third boss was a Bedlam, either one of us could have died. Because once you're not insta-killing bosses and they have the ability to use the effect, that's when you could obviously just die to a Bedlam, and he just dies earlier. But yeah, try off meta decks, and sometimes they just work. 4796 crit, 4691. That's actually pretty close in terms of crit level, in terms of trophy level. But yeah, that's my advice to you.